Bro, can you teach me about appointment setting? And that's exactly what we're going to be going into today, bro. Is pretty much everything you need to know about appointment setting. And we've got a few more people joining right now. So we got what we're going to be walking through is appointment setting. I know Liz, you just talked about, one of those digital dropshipping videos that you just watched. I'm sure that added some value and a good understanding of what you're talking about right now. Jay, I know you're still learning. Leah, I know you're still, I guess, going well as well. But what we're going to be going in depth about is everything we need to know or becoming prepared, right? So these every Monday, 8 p.m. Sydney time, I'll be hosting these live masterclass sessions, right? To provide as much value to the marketplace, to provide a understanding of where we want to be and how we can get there, right? Now, a lot of people mistaken learning a skill set, learning the right skills of, well, why do I have to do that? Why? You just give them a breakdown of it, but if they're not open-minded about it, there's no reason in going back and forth, right? So this is why every Monday, if you just want to come and talk that trash, talk whatever it is, come join these sessions. Everyone that joins these sessions gets something, takes away something from these calls. And these are the people that are actually gaining the knowledge rather than the people who, watch from a side and say what they want. You all have your critics, you have your haters, but if you can understand where you're coming from, have a good understanding of it, by all means, right? Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but the more you provide value, the better it's going to be, right? So, how do I go next? Oh, shoot. Okay, introduction of me. My name is Nelson Misloy. I'm 20 years old. I was able to leave my warehouse job in just under 6 months. I was in the same position as many of you are today, right? I was working a job in itself, a warehouse job, and I was tied down to my boss and my hours. Okay, the main thing I realized is that I will never be paid for the value I provide to the workplace, but only be paid by the hour, right? Let's say you work a job right now. You are only paid by the hour rather than the value you provide. You could do 10 times more work than someone, but you still get paid the same amount as someone that's not doing the work, right? And why is that? Because you're paid by the hour and not by the value that you can provide, which is completely fine. That's how the society and the world works right now. But for me personally, and I know for many other people don't want to do that, right? Many people don't want to do that and want to learn how to not do that. Okay. So that's why I decided to make a change because I also studied psychology. I understood sales, human psychology, got into the midst of it. Then I wanted to become someone of value rather than become someone who's only paid by the hour. Okay. Next. How do I go next? Just do that. Okay. We fast forward to today. I have left my warehouse job. I built a six-figure business online in less than 12 months just from learning high income skills. Okay. Today we're going to be going in depth about becoming prepared for the opportunity for appointment setting. Now, can I get a raise of hands or something in the chat on who's keen to walk through that? Keen? Perfect. Perfect. Just had someone else join. I'm down. Let's go. I'll probably have to mute. Yeah, all good. Sweet as. Cool. Now, last week we focused on, who has done more to become more prepared for the opportunity that is around the corner, right? We have the foundation on appointment setting. Now we focus on the opportunity. In order to focus on the opportunity, we need to become prepared. Okay. So who was on last week's session? Who joined last week's session? And who got a good understanding of everything? Anyone? No one? Just me and myself? Because look, if you just want to get access to that session that we ran through last week, was pretty much the foundation of it. It was the foundation of what appointment setting is, right? So how can you learn something if you don't know the foundations? How can we learn something if we don't understand it first? So what we walked through last week is having that understanding, having the foundations, and learning that first, right? Now we need to learn how we can become prepared. Does that make sense for everyone that's in here? Yes. Perfect. Perfect. I appreciate the communication in here. It's much better. Much better. Perfect. Okay. Now you can screenshot this. This is free game right here. You can screenshot this right now, and I want you guys to screenshot it. Okay. So I can go in depth about what I'm actually going to talk about. Okay. What does becoming prepared look like in itself first? Shoot. Hold on. How do I minimize this? There we go. Okay. What does prepared look like? We need the foundation of skill set of sales. Now, this isn't regular sales. This isn't door-to-door sales, but rather understanding and solving a problem. Okay? You have a solution that's solving a certain person's problem. Okay? You should have a solution, like I just said, but do you know how and why this is important? Does anyone in this chat understand why and how that is important though? Yes, no, maybe in the middle.
Yes.
Yes, perfect, perfect. Good comms, good comms. Okay. Understand when it comes to a prospect, right? The problem it is clear to have what they have or not done in the past. Okay, we need to understand where they are now is a determined factor of what they've done in the past, whether they have done something about it or whether they haven't done something about it. Okay, the cost of inaction in the past and the cost of inaction in the future. Okay, that's a little confusing. The cost of inaction in the past is the pain of not achieving their goal. Okay, what have they not done in the past to achieve their goal? And that is the reason why they're in that position. So how can we understand that? The cost of inaction in the future, what is it going to look like if you continue to do to be unable to achieve the goal? And what does the pain of not having it look like? Okay, let's say for example, someone comes to you, right? They want to learn how to just put it in simple terms. They want to learn how to become an appointment setter. Okay, what have you done in the past 6 months? Let's say they've been looking to do appointment setting for 6 months. What have you done in the past 6 months to learn how to become an appointment setter? What have you not done in the past 6 months to learn how to become an appointment setter? Now you have the problem. Okay, you have the clear problem of why they are in the position still reaching out to you 6 months later. Is it the lack of information? Is it the lack of guidance? Is it the lack of accountability? Is it the lack of implementation? Are these a clear factor of their problem and do we have a solution, right? Whether or not you are appointment setting or having the foundation of sales in a skill itself, you need to have the solution for the certain person's problem. Okay, we can learn about how to apply for roles, we can learn about how to go and get roles, but if we don't understand this as a foundation, then it means absolutely nothing, right? Let me just go over to my notes. Okay, what I mean by this is, are we prepared? Do we understand this? Did we understand what I just said? If I'll break it down again, right? I don't want to repeat myself too much, but I do want to make sure that I'm coming off clear and direct, okay? Let's say someone's reached out to you, you're an appointment setter, and they've tried appointment setting. They tried to become an appointment setter for the past 6 months. Okay, this is what you need to understand. What have you done in the past 6 months to get to you reaching out to me? And what have you not done? Okay. If they say I've tried YouTube videos and that's it, okay, you've tried YouTube videos, but have you implemented it? Have you gone to that next step of landing roles? Have you gone to the next step of implementing the action that you've learned from the videos? If not, okay, do you feel like you need an accountability coach? Do you feel like you need uh, a one-on-one guidance in a sense, right? That's how you have the solution for their problem to not being where they want to be. Does that make sense to everyone that's kind of listening in at the moment? Sales 101, pretty much. Yes. Yep. Makes sense. Perfect. Just want to make sure that, we're all on the same page. We're not confused and we can proceed with the next steps as well. One on one. Okay, so you feel like you aren't in the position today because you don't have that one-on-one guidance, right? And that's how you can kind of get that solution, right? Because there's a problem. Okay, I lack the guidance. I lack the one-on-one. What do I need? I need the guidance, right? What does that look like? X, Y, Z. How can I get that? X, Y, Z. Okay. This is the sales one-on-one that we need to understand. And this isn't talked about on social media, right? This isn't talked about on Reels because it's a lot to kind of intake and go in depth about, which is what these sessions are for, right? So I can go in depth about a certain topic, okay? The cost of inaction in the past and the cost of inaction in the future. Okay? Does all make sense so far? Hope I'm not boring anyone, but I kind of just need to make my point across that we understand this basics pretty much. Perfect. Let me just get up. I can find it. Cool. Okay. Now the next thing. Oh, I'll go to it. Okay. Now this is the very basics of, understanding. But if you don't understand the very basics of the prospect, everything else will become overcomplicated. So what do we understand so far? And do we know why it's important to understand the prospect? If I can get a good understanding of everyone in here at the moment, then I'm more than happy to move forward and kind of walk you guys through maybe more advanced understanding because this is the very basic, right? What do we know right now, and why do we feel like this is important to understand the prospect? You guys can unmute yourself. You guys can talk. If you have a question, just raise your hand up. Anyone? Anyone? No one? Just me? Okay.
Is the question that you're asking, is the question that you're asking like the basics of a prospect, like as a potential client, or are you asking, do we understand the last slide, the last two slides that we've just gone through?
Like, do we understand why that's so important? Like, do we understand why it's un to understand like certain prospects in their position today because of what they've
Of
done in
inaction
the
or
past and what they
inaction?
haven't done?
Oh, yep,
Does that make
yep.
sense to everyone?
I understand that, yep,
Cool. Perfect. So that's like the very basics, okay? And we want to understand the basics first before we can move into any of the complicated stuff, right?
yep,
What do you mean to understand prospect? Right? You got to understand as an appointment setter, right? You're working for a business. You're working for a influencer who's selling info, who's selling something, right? They need appointment setters to take over their business, right? So you need to understand that person that's reaching out to them, okay? Let's say this person, let's say you're working for a fitness influencer, okay? And they're selling a fitness program, okay? They have appointment setters in their DMs, but they have prospects reaching out to them, individuals reaching out to them, asking them, how do I get fit? How do I get into your body? Okay. Now you ask them, okay, how long have you been wanting to get fit for? For the past 12 months. Okay. What have you done in the past 12 months to get fit? Or what have you researched? Blah, blah, blah. 9 times out of 10, they're going to say, I did YouTube, but I lacked, a mentor. I lacked that one-on-one, coaching. I lacked XYZ. Okay, how can we help you get there? Usually they'll book you in, and then that's how an appointment setter gets paid. It's just helping the prospect go from zero to where they want to be. Okay, that's all it is. And it's through DMs, it's through messages. Don't need to show your face. It's pretty simple, but this is the basics that we need to understand. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Now, like I mentioned, right, a lot of people don't understand sales or don't understand this in a sense, so I go in depth about it. But what I do, right, is I help people learn the right skills. I help people get prepared for the opportunity that's around the corner. Okay, if you want one-on-one guidance, I can help you get to there. And I can show you what that helped look like in the past week. Okay, last week I showed ABC's recent wins. This is this week's recent wins. Okay. This is my guy Charlie, who I personally helped myself. Who knew it even possible? Thought I'd be stuck in a warehouse forever, but as I kept learn how to manage my time wisely, think differently, act accordingly, the playing field becomes easier, especially when I'm cutting up my videography, music, and sports. I've had doubt, but never an excuse. Can't have myself giving up when everything's just getting started. To be continued. Now, Charlie is now certified as a appointment setter Now he is prepared because he has all the foundations for sales, it's all the foundations for appointment setting. Now he can go take that to the opportunity. Now he can go apply for roles. Okay. Now he can go use this certificate like a resume, go to a business. Let's say he goes to an fitness influencer and says, "Here is my appointment setting resume. This is everything you need to know about me. I would love to work for you." Outbound to, maybe 200 people a week, land a role, start making money. It's that simple, right? But as anyone in here able to get a certification like this and have a resume to back them up to go apply for roles? Yes or no? No. Okay, Jay. No. Okay. Jay, you said yes. Are you in ABC right now, or are you getting your training just from YouTube, bro? Okay, Liz Teeks, is that you? No, just getting training from you. Okay. So if you're just getting training from myself, you aren't getting, right, you're getting that knowledge that you need, but you're also not getting the accountability, you're not getting the community, you're just getting, these live masterclass sessions, right? That go, give you the basics, but now where's the implementation, right? Like we said, these are the wins inside ABC who invested into learning the skill set, which is what I do, right? But I also provide it for free. Okay. Here's another win from James. Okay. After 2 months in ABC, I finally found my rhythm and got my appointment setting cert. This is only the beginning of my journey in ABC, and I'm excited to see how far I can take it. You have to love the process to experience the rewards. Okay, we have to fall in love with the process in order to receive these rewards that these guys are getting. Okay, now we're prepared. Opportunities there. Watch the success come in. Okay, does this all make sense so far? Yes or no? Yep. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Sweet. Now, if you guys are looking for one-on-one guidance, right? You're looking for that extra boost to kind of get you prepared, right? Get you ABC verified. Message me straight after this session. I can walk you through how we can kind of get you started. If not, I can send you down the right pathway. But either way, I'm still going to be showing up for you guys no matter what. This is just a clear indication of what is there, right? Here is the proof. Here is the understanding of everything. I just wanted to show you that to everyone. Okay. So message me the word ABC after the session so I know you guys came from this and we can kind of go forward from there. Okay. Now, the next thing, I don't ask for much from you guys, but I do and would really appreciate if you guys could put this on your story so it does get spread to a larger audience, right? Rather than just my own following, but also to your guys' followings, okay? If you guys could just take a screenshot of this live session right here, tag me on your story and reshare it. I will give you a free shout out on my Instagram. Okay. Please make sure to tag my Instagram handle right there. Need to go back. Please make sure to tag my Instagram handle right there. And I would really appreciate you. Please let me know when that's all done and then we can move forward from there. Does that sound good, everybody? Appreciate it, Jay. Thank you, bro. Bro, you're not reply to my DMs. Brother, I told you. The position you're in right now is we can't help you get to that right now because, right, you're living in a third world country, number one. Secondly, the funds to get to where you want to be isn't the best ability, which is why I recommending going through YouTube, why I recommended jumping on these sessions to learn as much as possible, right? That's what I've always recommended. So for everyone right now, okay, if we could always just take a screenshot of this, post this on your story, I would really appreciate it. But also understand, right? I don't need to be running these sessions, okay? I don't need to be providing that free value. But people talk so much shit online that maybe I just want to do it to shush all the haters. But maybe also I want to provide so much value to the marketplace is that people can't even say anything anymore. This guy hosts a free live masterclass session every Monday. This guy posts every single day on how to learn a skill set. How can he not be someone of value, right? Because if you're not someone of value, obviously they're going to look at you differently. But if you add value to the market, you're a person of value. How else are you going to get better? Does that make sense? Appreciate it, bro. Have we been able to, have we been able to, I guess, put this on our story just so I can move forward from here? Just let me know when you guys have done that so I can proceed. Bro, what's the course to join? See, brother, it's not about the cost to join, right? It's what's going to cost you if you continue to ask all these questions but don't do anything about it, right? Like I could answer all the questions you want, bro, but at the end of the day, if you don't take action on it, on what I've told you directly in the messages, I said that, this isn't the best fit because I said it's not for everyone, right? So I said if you continue to go through YouTube, you continue to learn on yourself, that you're in a third world country, so it's going to be more beneficial for you to do that. Okay? Also, everyone else that's inside, are we able to confirm we've done that? Just so I know we can move forward from here. Um, would it be better for you guys to wait till after the session to get that story time up? Yes or no? Yes? Perfect. Okay, cool. All right. All right, cool. We can do that. No worries. So now the implementation side of things. If you're looking to obviously invest in yourself, you want one-on-one guidance, message me straight after this, the word setting. I know, okay, so I know you're looking for one-on-one guidance to be prepared for the opportunity. Okay. Now we have the basics of now we have the basics of the foundation of what appointment setting is. In our next session, we'll focus on how to start building the fundamentals. Right. So if we go back a couple slides here, we understood all of this, becoming prepared, the cost of inaction in the past and the cost of inaction in the future. Okay. We understand the prospects in the position they are today because, right, of what they've done in the past, because of what they haven't done in the past, also. Okay. So we understand all of that. But we also understand, okay, if we want to become appointment setters, are we prepared? No. Okay, what do we need to become prepared? Okay, we need to have the right training. We need to have the right guidance. We need to have the right accountability in a sense, right? So number one is, putting a story time. Number two is also having that foundation and building off the fundamentals, building off the foundation, right? So that's what's going to be really tailored to that. Okay. And if you guys want access to, this live masterclass session and you want to rewatch it, I'll be leaving it up for 24 hours. So message me straight after this as well. The word setting, so I know you're ready for one-on-one guidance, but also for access for this live masterclass session. Okay. Does that sound good? Perfect. Perfect. Appreciate it, bro. Perfect. So now this is the Q&A part. Ask me a question, I'll answer it live and direct. And also, when you ask your question, what made you join today? Live feedback so I can tailor it to you. Shoot away. You can unmute yourself. I'm more than happy to answer any question you guys have, and also let me know what made you guys join today, and we can walk through. Anyone got any questions today, or are we all good?
Oh, sorry, I was just quickly doing the Insta post. You know so that if we were to go down the YouTube route for now, for
Mhm.
example,
Yeah.
um, the ones that you've posted in your YouTube, would you recommend anyone else's one that we can watch just to, gain a bit of confidence in going down that route? So like that's part one of the question. Part two would be, if we were to go down that route and then apply via Seek,
hmm
um, like would you advise that though? Like to like off of that information alone?
Yeah. So to answer your first question, I would recommend Marcel Stam, someone who I also work really closely with, but he really goes in depth on appointment setting and remote closing. So he gives you the
Mm.
foundations and the basics of everything there. That's another person I would recommend. With Seek, right? A lot of the time you can reach out to them. You can go on seek.com, you go on Facebook groups, you can go on to indeed.com, just like finding a regular job. A lot of the time they're gonna ask you for a resume. Okay, you either come up
Yeah,
with your own resume, you write down a resume of what you understand, where you're gonna get that. Maybe have your own group of people where, you know, okay, we're working together. Let's come up with our own resume, just like your work resume, right?
yeah,
You come up with your own resume and start applying. Maybe it's not as high as being certified, but at least you're giving it a go, right? At least you're applying all the knowledge you know and giving it a shot rather than just not trying at all. Because even the people that are getting certified, right, they still have to do the same thing. They just have a higher success of getting accepted. Does that make sense?
yeah, of course, yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. Good question. Does anyone else have any questions?
Um, I actually have a question on how do you handle rejection or a prospect hanging up on you?
Objection or prospect hanging up on you?
Yeah.
So every time you take a call, every time, whenever that happens, bro, you need to understand, you need to record that call. Okay, you need to record it because
Yeah.
when you realize someone hangs up on you, you need to go back and watch it and realize, okay, where did I go wrong to have that disconnect of someone now hanging up on me, right? Where did I go wrong in this call? Because it's a self-reflection. It's a reflection of, okay, during this call, I messed up at this point. That's why this person hung up. That's what I need to stop doing on my next call. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not about, okay, why did he hang up on me right now? It's about what did I do before? So you do the same thing that we just talked about on this session, right? Was what has the prospect done before to be in the position they are in today? Or what have they not done? Brings us to your question that you asked, what did you do before to get him to hang up? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Got you. Got you.
I have another question.
Yep.
Appointment setting, like what is the like for like the average Australian for is so for example, if the job on Seek is a full-time appointment setting role,
hmm
like what is the average income for that? Is that like below full-time wage, or is that middle? Like what's the average? Because the only reason I ask, the YouTube videos state appointment setting and then closing as two different brackets,
hmm
like income brackets. That's just why I'm asking.
Yeah. So with appointment setting, a lot of it and remote closing, a lot of it's going to be commission based. So appointment setting is 5%. This is on average. So if we want average numbers, appointment settings 5 to 10%, closings 10 to 15%, right? So Now, that's the commission that you're going to get based on the offer that you work for or the company that you work for. Okay. They're either going to pay you a base rate or just commissions on top of that with a bonus. Okay. So, with that in mind, you need to understand that are you going to get a base rate or are you going to go commission rate? So, I would always recommend find something with a base rate first on top of untapped count comms, on top of, commissions as well. So,
Mm.
with that, right, in terms of, how much would they be making, I know a lot of appointment setters who go from appointment setting to then, remote closing to 120K a year, right? Which is about 10K a month, just a remote closing. But you need to learn appointment setting first because that's always the foundation where everyone lacks. It's not the funnest job in the world, but you're not showing your face, you're just sending messages. It's pretty simple, right? But there's a lot of things that go into it to make you a really good appointment setter compared to an expert appointment setter, right? So the comms, it's, you can get up to 5K a month as an appointment setter. You get up to 120K a month, 50K a year, sorry, 60K a year, and 120K a year closing.
Mm.
So that's just the averages as well. So if you want to be making 5K a month as an appointment setter, that's 60K a year. If you want to be making 10K a month as a closer, that's what Marcel done for e-com offer, then you can do that, which is about 120 grand a year.
And with the skills that you've learned, is this like your highest recommendation as the basic skill to learn first, appointment setting?
100%, 100% yes, because that's
Oh,
also
yep.
what I learned first. I learned that all through YouTube. Realized that a lot of the YouTube videos are kind of pushing me towards, okay, I need in-depth videos, which is why I joined ABC to make me learn the right skills, get to where I want to be. But obviously, right, if I tell someone ABC is not suited for you or ABC is not the best financial decision for you right now, then obviously, that's me personally, not just trying to get something out of you, but also trying to point you in the right direction, right? So when
Mm.
it comes to getting the right training, make sure you are getting the right training. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, appointment setting is probably the most easiest skill you can learn first because not only that, but you learn numbers, you learn how to manage teams, you learn how to run a team, and you learn how to build a team as well. So those foundations you need for business, no matter what business it is. So that's why I would recommend it first as well.
Awesome.
Cool.
Thanks so much.
All good. How long did you take for training and learning these skills before launching and applying your skills, begin earning money? Great question. So, how long did you take for training? I'm still learning myself. I'm still learning every single day. Just like a professional athlete, right? They're still training every single day. They're still perfecting their craft because they'll never become, better than what they were yesterday. So, I'm still learning to this day, but obviously I've gotten better in a sense, right? So I've applied the skills of marketing with my personal brand. I've got that over 70,000 followers on Instagram, 4,000 subscribers on YouTube. I grew my TikTok to over 15 grand, but then that got deleted. So I've created a new one that's got over 1,000 followers right now. So that's marketing. With sales, I've learned a skill set of sales to, generate an online business of helping people learn sales, helping people learn marketing, helping people learn that $200,000 in less than 10 months. So that's pretty much a basic understanding of me. What do you think the key qualities or skills that make a successful appointment setter? So the key qualities or skills that make a successful appointment setter is number one, do they understand the prospect? Number two, it's never about the money. So never, ever, ever worry about making money. Worry about the prospect. Okay. So if you understand, right, is this actually going to help certain prospect get to where you want to be? Or are you just doing it for the money? Okay. That's a huge difference from I'm an appointment setter to a successful appointment setter. Because the successful appointment setter is not focused on the money, they're focused on actually helping that person, right? You can tell also with myself, I don't really care about the money. I care about helping other people. I care about hosting these live masterclass sessions so people have a good understanding of everything, right? Do I get any money from it? Absolutely not. It's a free live masterclass session to provide the value to the marketplace. Does that make me a better content creator than other content creators? Maybe so, but now I have proof to back it up, right? I can jump on these calls with confidence and talk to you about anything in depth because I understand it, Name me one person who can also do that, right? There's not many that can do that. That's how you can tell a successful content creator compared to maybe a wannabe content creator who's just getting started in a sense. Does that make sense? How do you find these businesses and influencers to offer your services to? How do you decide your income? Is it something that the business offer you? Yep. So what I can do right now is let me just close this window. Did I fully close that? I think I did. Let me know if I can get that back up. Yep. That's all gone now. You guys can't see that, eh? So let me just go back to this and to answer your question again. Cool. So your question was, how do you find these businesses and influencers to offer your services to? So appointment setting, going to Seek, business right here. Appointment setter, A players only. Melbourne, Victoria, remote, $8,000 to $100,000 per year. Sales outbound. So we don't want to work for an outbound company because you're going to be outbounding them. We want to work for inbound. So how can we find inbound leads? Cool. Now we found a inbound retention consulting, Booper. Okay. Customer service, hybrid role, WFH, which is working from home. So we don't want to focus on outbound. We want inbound leads. How many is there? There's over 100 jobs at least. Outbound, 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 outbound. Now, this one, like I mentioned, right, you're going to be paid $30 per hour, commission plus bonus plus super. Okay. But the only issue here is outbound. Now, we can start with outbound to kind of build up the resume for us. But if we really want to become a good, appointment setter, we want to focus on inbound. So if you ever find an inbound on Seek, then I fully recommend it. So probably something like this. Take inbound calls from members and offer tailored solutions to retain them. What does outbound mean? So you're going to be messaging them rather than messaging the business. Inbound means they are messaging the business, but outbound means the business is messaging them. So something like this, $71,000 plus super, there may be no commission base for it, but
You, me, and James.
you're going to be taking inbound calls. So you're going to getting calls and messages from people reaching out to you. So this right here, I'll probably recommend reaching out to. Does that make sense? Yes? No?
That makes sense.
Cool. Now we can even go over to Indeed.com, job search, not now.
Yeah.
We go to appointment setup.
Oh. I want.
Now we also need to focus on right here. Like I said, hybrid work in Broadbeach. So you can make 60,000 to, I'll probably have to mute you there. Sorry. But yeah, look at this one. How do I go out? Engage inbound leads and set high quality appointments. Prior experience in appointment settings, um, like we mentioned, we need experience, right? We need certificates, but you can come off your own knowledge and do that, preferably in call centers or utilities, right? But inbound leads. Okay, so as an appointment setter, you are the middleman in the business. Okay, you're the one messaging rather than the business messaging because they have to deal with 100 different things. So they need appointment setters to message and take care of this certain role, right? This job right here is paying $60,000 to $200,000 a single year, right? And they're offering you that subcontract to engage in inbound leads and set high quality contents. Okay, we have another one right here, high ticket program for a professional builder in Australia. Make $6,000, $13,000 a month. All right. So the opportunity is there. It's just, are we prepared yet? Uncapped earnings right here. World class training, blah, blah, blah. that may be the case, but look, they should be paying you. Does that make sense so far? Sweet. Cool. Well, so the service of appointments is handling clients' affairs with the business rather than the business doing it. Yes. And that's why appointment setting is so in demand because any business running a business right now, they can't be messaging you 24/7, right? They need appointment setters to take care of that, which is where you come into play, where you can learn the basics to do that. Perfect. Cool. Well, guys, I hope this session was of value. Yeah, make sure you guys to message me after the session if you want one-on-one guidance. Make sure you message me to gain access, to this masterclass session in itself so you can reflect on it. But I also do appreciate everyone that jumped on. If you guys could do the story and I could really share it for you guys, I'd really do appreciate it. And let me know when you guys have done it and I can reshare that to my page. Just wondering, do you work as a appointment setter for one business or more than one? I would focus on just working for one because if you focus on working for different businesses, you're just becoming a master of everything. Um, you're becoming a what's the word? No, there's this word that has to come up. You're becoming a trade of. You're becoming a jack of all trades, but a master of none. There it is. 100%. 100%. For sure, brother. Whatever page you want to use. But in that as well, I do really appreciate if you just let people know to join the next one so we can kind of go from there. Sweet.
Wait, thanks so much for tonight. I appreciate it.
All good. I hope to see you guys in the next one. God bless, and I'll see you guys soon.